Hello everyone, my name is Nindi Santika from Class A with last student ID number is 147, Faculty of Law at Universitas Jenderal Sudirman. And in this video, I will analyze a criminal law case. The case that I'm going to discuss is Supreme Court Decision number 277 Cassation Slice Criminal Slice 2019, which concerned the crime of murder under Article 338 of the Indonesian Criminal Code. I will explain the background of the case and identify the main legal issues, discuss the relevant law applied by the court, evaluate the court's decisions, highlight the ethical and social implications, and finally present a clear conclusion regarding my position on this case. What becomes the background of the case is a violent criminal act that resulted in the loss of human life. The case started when the defendant, Hadian S.Pd bin Usman, engaged in a physical confrontation with the victim, Ali as Badik as Jika. Based on the facts established by the court, the defendant struck the victim's head using a 3-kilogram gas cylinder, which caused serious injuries. After that, the defendant wrapped a bedsheet around the victim's neck and pressed the sheets against the victim's nose and mouth for approximately 2 minutes. As a consequence of these actions, the victim died. Medical and factual evidence presented at trial showed that the cause of death was directly linked to the defendant's violent conduct. Due to this incident, the public prosecutor charged the defendant with primary charge Article 338 of the Criminal Code concerning murder, subsidiary charge Article 351, Paragraph 3 of the Criminal Code concerning assault resulting in death. The main legal issues in this case is whether the defendant's actions constituted intentional murder under Article 338 KUHP or whether the act should instead be classified merely as severe assault that unintentionally caused death. In other words, the court had to determine the presence of intent or mens rea in the defendant's action. The applicable legal norm in this case is Article 338 of the Indonesian Criminal Code, which provides that anyone who intentionally takes the life of another person shall be punished for murder. According to this provision, several elements must be fulfilled, namely, Number 1, an act committed by the defendant. Number 2, the death of another person. Number 3, intentional conduct. And number 4, a casual relationship between the act and the death. In addition, Article 351, Paragraph 3 KUHP regulates assault that results in death, which applies when death occurs without a clear intent to kill. From a procedural perspective, the case was also governed by Law Number 8 of 1981 on criminal procedure or KUHP. Specifically, Article 253, Paragraph 1, KUHP limits cassation review to incorrect application of law, procedural violation, or courts exceeding their authority. Based on the statutory framework, the Supreme Court does not resist factual findings or reconsider the severity of punishment unless there is a legal error. In my opinion, the Supreme Court decisions was legally sound and well-reasoned. The judges correctly applied the law when they affirmed that the defendant's actions fulfilled all elements of intentional murder under Article 338 KUHP. The method used by the defendant, including striking the victim with a heavy object and suffocating the victim for several minutes, indicates a deliberate and conscious effort to cause death. The court's reasoning was strong in establishing intent because the actions were not spontaneous or minimal. Instead, they involved sustained violence that any reasonable person would understand could result in death. Furthermore, the Supreme Court appropriately rejected the defendant's cassation arguments. The court emphasized that complaints related to the evaluation of evidence and the length of punishment fall within the authority of the Judex Facti, not the cassation court. However, one aspect that deserves critical reflection is the reduction of the sentence from 13 years at the district court level to 10 years at the high court level. Although the judge considered mitigating circumstances such as the defendant's age and background, the severity of the crime arguably justified a heavier punishment. Despite this concern, the overall handling of the case demonstrated consistency with procedural law and judicial principles. From an ethical perspective, this decision reinforces the fundamental principle that human life must be protected by law. The court's firm stance against violent conduct contributes to maintaining public trust in the criminal justice system. Socially, the case serves as a warning that acts of extreme violence, regardless of personal conflict or emotional impulses, will result in serious legal consequences. It also highlights the importance of legal education and social intervention, especially among young individuals, to prevent violent behavior. The decision sets an important standards for upholding justice and ensuring accountability for serious crimes. In conclusion, I agree with the Supreme Court's decision to reject the cassation request and uphold the conviction under Article 338 of the Criminal Code. The judge correctly applied both substantive criminal law and procedural law, and their reasoning reflects a commitment to legal certainty and justice. While the reduction of the sentence may be debated, the legal qualification of the act as murder was appropriate and justified. Therefore, this case represents a strong example of how Indonesian courts address serious criminal offenses within the framework of the rule of law. Thank you for your attention. Bye bye.